Have you ever found yourself wondering if there's more to intimacy than just physical performance, especially as life changes and your body ages? What if I told you that true connection with your partner isn't just about what you can do in the bedroom, but about how you make them feel on a deeper, emotional level? And what if there were simple, natural remedies that could help restore that sense of connection, vitality, and emotional resilience? In today's video, we're diving deep into a conversation about the emotional and physical challenges many face as they grow older, especially in relationships. We'll explore why so many men feel disconnected from their partners as they age, and why pills and quick fixes often fail to address the root cause of their struggles. Instead, we'll discover how the body's natural changes don't have to mean the end of intimacy or fulfillment. Stick with me until the end, because I'm about to share time-tested wisdom passed down through generations, plus some simple yet powerful natural remedies that can help restore balance to both your body and mind. You'll learn how to regain your emotional confidence, enhance intimacy, and feel truly connected to your partner once again. And trust me, this isn't just about physical solutions. It's about finding deeper ways to be with each other. If you're ready to learn how to live your later years with vitality, passion, and true connection, stay tuned. You won't want to miss this. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I encourage you to click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated on all our latest content. I'm eager to hear your thoughts on today's topic. If you enjoy the content, please comment 1 below. If it doesn't resonate with you, leave a 0. Your feedback is crucial as it helps me create better videos that align with your interests. Now, let's get started. One afternoon, a knock echoed through the quiet house, a hesitant sound that seemed to carry the weight of unspoken burdens. Julian stood at the doorstep, a young man by age, yet his face was a map of frustration and exhaustion. His eyes, usually bright with ambition, now seemed shadowed with worry. His shoulders slumped as if the weight of the world had settled upon him, and his voice trembled slightly as he spoke, his words heavy with an overwhelming sense of helplessness. "Don Alejandro, Dona Isabel, I don't know where else to turn," he began, his voice breaking slightly. "I've been feeling different. I can't shake the feeling that my body is betraying me. My partner and we've grown distant. I try, I really do, but it seems like no matter how much I try to reach out, I can't connect with her the way I used to. I can't give her what she needs, what I want to give her. I feel lost, helpless, and it's eating away at me, piece by piece." His words hung in the air, filled with a deep vulnerability, and he lowered his gaze, unable to meet their eyes. Dona Isabel, her presence as warm and inviting as ever, looked at him with deep compassion. Her eyes, filled with a quiet wisdom and a tenderness that only a mother's heart can possess, softened as she took in his sorrow. She stepped forward and placed a gentle hand on his shoulder, offering him the kind of comfort that only someone who truly understands the weight of life's burdens can provide. "Son, listen to me," she said, her voice steady but filled with warmth. "What you're feeling, the struggle you're facing, it's not something to be ashamed of. It's not uncommon for a man to feel like this, especially as life goes on. The body changes, yes, but so does the soul. We all carry the weight of our experiences, the pressures, the doubts. You are not alone in this. And more importantly, there are ways to find your way back, ways you may not even know exist." Her words, though simple, were filled with an unspoken promise, a promise that there was hope, even when it seemed elusive. Don Alejandro, ever the steady presence, gave a small nod of agreement. He sat back in his chair, his fingers absent-mindedly stroking the length of his beard, a habit that always seemed to signal the beginning of an important conversation. "Julian," he said, his voice firm but gentle, "natural medicine, my boy, has been around for centuries. It's been tested and proven by time, offering remedies that are far gentler and more lasting than any pill or chemical concoction modern medicine has to offer. But before we get to that, I want you to understand something vital." Julian's eyes were fixed on him now, desperate for anything that could help, his heart pounding with a mixture of hope and doubt. "The issue you're facing, Julian, is not just about what's happening to your body. Yes, the body changes. But a woman's pleasure, her happiness, her satisfaction, it's not just about how you perform physically. It's about how you connect with her, how you make her feel. It's the emotional bond, the energy you bring into the relationship, that makes all the difference. Don Alejandro's words hung in the air, weighted with a lifetime of experience. Dona Isabel, always attuned to the deeper currents of emotion, added, "That's right. So many men get caught up in thinking that their worth lies in their performance. But a woman's desires go far beyond that. True connection is found in the smallest moments, the subtle touches, the quiet gestures of love. If you take the time to truly see her, to understand her body, her needs, her responses, you'll realize that pleasure is often in the details. The way you make her feel emotionally, the energy you bring into the room, it all matters more than you think." Julian stood frozen, his heart pounding with a mix of fear and longing. His breath hitched as he spoke, his voice shaking with the weight of his own uncertainty. "But what if I can't do it? What if I fail her? I've tried everything, the pills the doctors gave me, but they don't always work, and when they do, I feel like I'm just relying on them to fix me. I don't want to depend on something that only offers a temporary fix." His voice was barely above a whisper, but the depth of his pain was clear, echoing in the silence between them. Dona Isabel's gaze softened even more, and she took his hands in hers, grounding him with the warmth of her touch. "Julian, the road ahead may not be easy, but it's not about perfection. It's about finding balance, understanding that both your body and your heart need care. The true solution lies in embracing both the physical and emotional aspects of your relationship. You are not broken, my dear. You are simply in need of guidance. And we will help you find it, step by step." Her words, like a balm, began to settle over his troubled mind. Though his doubts still lingered, for the first time in a long while, Julian felt a flicker of hope, as if a long-forgotten light had begun to shine through the cracks in his heart. Don Alejandro listened intently, his weathered face softening with understanding as he nodded slowly, his eyes reflecting the weight of years spent witnessing the complexities of life. He leaned forward as though to bridge the space between them, his voice calm and reassuring, yet heavy with wisdom. "What you're describing, Julian, is not uncommon at all. Many men, especially those struggling with their sense of self and the changes that come with age, turn to quick fixes. They seek relief in pills, in temporary solutions, believing they will resolve everything. But those pills, they only address the surface. They mask the symptoms without ever touching the heart of the matter. They may provide momentary relief, yes, but they do nothing to heal what lies beneath. What's truly needed is a deeper approach, a return to balance, both in the body and in the mind. And the answer, Julian, often lies in nature itself." He paused, looking at Julian with a deep, compassionate gaze. "You see, the body, the soul, they change, they grow, they evolve. But that doesn't mean they are beyond repair. There are ancient remedies that have been used for centuries, passed down through generations, that offer healing in a way that no pill can. These remedies are rooted in nature, in plants, foods, and practices that nourish not only the body, but the spirit. And that's what you need, Julian. Something that goes beyond just the physical, something that can help you regain your confidence, your sense of vitality, and your connection with your partner." Don Alejandro's voice took on a tone of reverence as he spoke of these remedies, each one more than just a simple solution, but a gift from nature that had stood the test of time. "Take maca, for example," he said, his eyes lighting up as he spoke of the ancient Peruvian root. Maca has been used for centuries by the indigenous peoples of the Andes, not just to boost energy and vitality, but to restore balance in both the body and the mind. It doesn't just make you feel stronger physically, it helps you regain a sense of emotional resilience, a sense of power over your own life. It awakens a part of you that may have been dormant for a while, and that's the kind of strength you need, Julian. That kind of strength can help you connect with your partner in a way that feels natural, effortless. A woman can sense that kind of self-assurance, and it makes all the difference. Julian listened closely, the weight of Don Alejandro's words slowly sinking in. He hadn't thought about things in this way before, about the deep connection between emotional strength and physical vitality. It was as though a light had flickered on in his mind, a realization that perhaps the answer was not about trying to fix himself with something external, but about finding strength from within, from the world around him. If you are still watching this video, and find these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Donna Isabel, ever patient and wise, added her voice with the same calm assurance. Ashwagandha too, she said, her tone gentle but firm. This herb from India has been revered for centuries, known for its ability to reduce stress and restore balance to the hormones. Stress is something we all carry, especially as we get older. It wears down the body and the mind, leaving us feeling drained, disconnected. Ashwagandha helps to restore that balance, bringing you back to a place of equilibrium. It's not a quick fix, but it's a steady, gentle remedy that works over time, helping you feel calmer, more in control of your emotions. And then, Donna Isabel continued, there's pomegranate, nature's gift to us. This fruit is packed with antioxidants, which help to cleanse and rejuvenate the body. It improves circulation, allowing your body to respond more naturally, more fluidly. The way you connect with your partner, physically, emotionally, it relies on the health and vitality of your body, and pomegranate is one of the best things you can consume to help your body work at its best. Julian felt his heart race with a mixture of hope and confusion. He had heard of these remedies before, but never in such a profound way. He had always seen them as mere alternatives, but now they seemed like a key to unlocking something deeper within him, something that could restore not just his body, but his connection to his partner. Don Alejandro continued, his voice steady and reassuring. But Julian, it's not just about what you put into your body. It's about how you treat yourself, how you move through the world. The body, the soul, they need movement. They need flow. Movement keeps your energy circulating, your body flexible and strong. It's not just about working out to build muscles, but about allowing the energy within to flow freely. Whether it's a simple walk through the park, or something gentler like yoga, movement helps maintain the optimal state of your body. It's like opening the windows to let fresh air in. It clears away the stagnant energy, allowing you to breathe easier, to feel more alive. Julian nodded, but his mind was still wrestling with doubt. He had always been a man of action, of solutions that were immediate and tangible. The idea of letting go of that need for quick results felt unsettling. Don Alejandro's gaze softened, and he leaned forward, placing a hand gently on Julian's arm. And don't forget, son, the power of touch. Men often think that everything can be fixed with action, with doing. But in matters of love, especially when it comes to a woman, it's not about what you do, it's about how you make her feel. The body responds to touch, to caresses, to moments of tenderness. A woman's skin, her senses, they're attuned to warmth, to affection. When you take the time to slow down, to offer her those quiet, loving gestures, caresses, kisses, soft words, it speaks volumes. It's not about quantity. It's about the quality of your connection. A touch that lasts, a moment that lingers. That's what makes a difference. So, take your time, Julian. Learn to be present in those moments. It's the subtle things that build the deepest connections. Julian sat in silence, absorbing every word, feeling a deep shift within him. The path ahead was not going to be simple, but there was something comforting about the idea that healing didn't have to come from a pill, that it could come from something as simple, yet profound, as slowing down, connecting, and listening to the wisdom of the body and the heart. Donna Isabel continued, her voice a soothing balm to Julian's troubled heart. With the grace of someone who had spent a lifetime understanding the complexities of human connection, she spoke with a wisdom that seemed to echo from generations past. Julian, she said, her gaze firm yet filled with kindness, the foundation of any strong relationship, especially one as intimate as the one you share with your partner, is communication. Don't ever underestimate the power of open, honest conversation. Many couples, especially as they face the challenges of aging or changing circumstances, fall into the trap of assuming that their partner already knows what they need, what they desire. But the truth is, our bodies and minds evolve with time, and so do our needs. What worked for you both yesterday may not be what works today. And sometimes, we are left navigating these changes without ever really addressing them. If you want to strengthen the bond you share, you must talk. Don't wait for her to guess what's on your mind. Don't leave her to assume what's troubling you. Speak. Let her know what's going on inside of you, what you're feeling, and what you fear. She cannot walk this path with you if you don't invite her in. Julian stood quietly, taking in every word, and something deep within him began to stir. He had always believed that intimacy was something you could solve in silence, by simply being present, by not rocking the boat. But now, as Donna Isabel's words sank in, he realized just how much he had been holding back, not just physically, but emotionally, too. The physical struggles he faced were the tip of the iceberg, and underneath that surface were layers of emotional distance and unspoken needs. He nodded slowly, feeling a knot loosen in his chest. "I think I understand what you're saying," he replied, his voice tentative, betraying the uncertainty that still lingered. "But I'm afraid my partner won't see it that way. I don't know if she'll understand what I'm going through or even know how to respond." Donna Isabel's face softened, and she gave him a small, compassionate smile, one that seemed to reassure him even before she spoke. "Fear is a natural part of any journey, Julian," she said, her tone filled with empathy. "It's human to be afraid of vulnerability, to fear rejection or misunderstanding. But the real danger lies in allowing that fear to control you. You cannot let it hold you back from being open with her. The longer you stay silent, the wider the gap between you will grow. It's not just about your physical needs. It's about the emotional connection, the deeper bond that sustains any relationship. Women, too, have their own fears, their own insecurities. They, too, want to be seen, to be heard, to know that they are understood by their partner. You must let her in, Julian. She can't know what's in your heart unless you share it. You must show her that you trust her enough to be vulnerable, and in doing so, you'll create a space where she feels safe enough to do the same." Julian felt a mix of relief and trepidation at her words. He had always thought that intimacy was about doing, about performing, about keeping things smooth and without conflict. But now he saw that it was about something deeper, something more fragile. It was about sharing your fears, your vulnerabilities, your desires, and your growth. He wasn't sure if his partner would see things the same way, but he knew that what Donna Isabel was telling him was true. The power of connection did not lie in the avoidance of difficult conversations, but in the willingness to face them, to grow together, even when it was uncomfortable. "You're right," he said after a long pause, his voice barely above a whisper, "but I don't know where to start. What if I've waited too long? What if she's already grown distant?" Donna Isabel's gaze was steady, full of warmth, but also a quiet firmness that seemed to pierce through his doubts. "Julian, it's never too late. The fact that you are here, seeking help, means that you still care, that you still want to fight for your connection. That's the most important thing. Relationships go through phases, and sometimes those phases are tough, filled with doubts and misunderstandings. But with patience, understanding, and a willingness to reconnect, you can rebuild what may have been lost. Don't be afraid to open up, to speak from the heart. Women, above all, need to feel like they are part of the process, that they are not just observers of your journey, but co-travelers. If you show her the depth of your feelings, she will find the strength to meet you where you are. Julian's heart felt lighter than it had in weeks. It wasn't a quick fix, nor did he expect a magic solution, but the idea that he could rebuild this connection, that he could move beyond the physical limitations and truly work on his emotional bond with his partner, was a revelation. He had been so focused on fixing the symptoms that he had neglected the root of the problem, the emotional distance between them. Don Alejandro, who had been quietly observing the exchange, rose from his seat and placed a reassuring hand on Julian's shoulder, a simple gesture that spoke volumes. "You are not alone in this," he said softly. "You don't have to carry this burden by yourself. Relationships require effort from both partners, and sometimes The hardest work is learning how to communicate, how to rebuild trust, how to see each other clearly through the fog of fear and uncertainty. But if you both put in the effort, if you both commit to being open and vulnerable, you will find your way back to each other. The key lies not just in what you do, but in how you connect, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. Let every moment you share together reflect the love and respect you have for one another. Julian took a deep breath, his heart beginning to settle, feeling the first stirrings of hope. The journey ahead would require patience, and he wasn't sure where it would lead, but he knew now that the path was not just about healing his body, it was about healing the relationship. His partner wasn't the only one who needed to understand. He too had to learn how to be more present, to open his heart in ways he had never dared before. But now he felt empowered, knowing that with time, communication, and a willingness to reconnect, he could rebuild the bond that had been slipping away. As he left Don Alejandro and Dona Isabel's home, he felt a deep sense of gratitude for their words. They had shown him that healing was not a matter of fixing what was broken, but of rebuilding what had been neglected, a connection that could weather the changes of time, a love that could grow even through the challenges of aging, of fears, and of vulnerability. So, what have you learned today? We've explored how true intimacy goes beyond physical performance, and how natural remedies like maca, ashwagandha, and pomegranate can help restore not just your body, but your emotional and mental balance as well. We've also discussed the importance of emotional connection and the power of touch in maintaining strong relationships as we grow older. Now, I want to hear from you. What's one thing you've learned today that you're going to bring into your own life? Maybe it's the idea of focusing on emotional connection, or perhaps you're curious to try one of the natural remedies we discussed. Whatever it is, drop a comment below and share what resonated with you the most. Let's keep this conversation going. If you like this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more insightful videos on aging, relationships, and well-being. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.